Well, happy day, everyone. I want to begin with asking you a question. Do you like bread? If you don't, you're probably in a minority because bread is a staple all over the world. Now, here in America, we have all these types of bread. We've got the sandwich bread. We've got hot dog rolls, hamburger rolls, and French bread, Italian bread. There's all kinds of bread they make. And I love bread. I just came from overseas, and I want to tell you, they have awesome bread in Europe. But Jesus said in John chapter 6:35, he said, I am the bread of life. Now, this is the first I am statement that Jesus says of himself that reveals to us who he really is. In John 6:35, he says, I am the bread of life. He also says it in verse 48, I am the bread of life. And then in verse 51, he says, I am the living bread. Now he goes on and talks about how you must eat this bread, eat of him and drink of him if you want to have life. Now, oftentimes, and even in this context here, some of the listeners misunderstood him and thought that you must eat him literally. Cannibalism. No, that's not what he said. In fact, if you read on through chapter number 6, you will see that he's talking in a spiritual realm. And friends, I want to say to you that there's a lot of things that people are eating that will not sustain life. Jesus is our sustenance. He is the one that gives us life, my friends. When we eat of him, when we drink of him, the psalmist said in the Old Testament, he talks about taste and see that the Lord is good. But here in the New Testament, Jesus is speaking of himself as the one that we are to feast on, that we are to eat on. And this is, again, is in a spiritual way. And friends, I want to say to you that there's a lot of people in our culture today, and we all have done this ourselves. We have tried to satisfy the spiritual hunger in our life with things that will never satisfy. Only Jesus can satisfy us. So he says, I am the bread of life. We must eat of him and drink of him. Now, in the context, again, we look at the end of this chapter, we see that because so many people did not understand, they left him. And Jesus looked at his disciples, are you going to leave me too? And they said, who else can we go to? Because you alone have the eternal life. And so, friends, I want to encourage you, don't look for other things to give you sustenance. Only Jesus can satisfy. God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.